Hello class, Ramses here, signing on. This is now the continuation of our discussion about Introduction to HTML5, and we are now on the part 4. Let's begin. Today we're finally going to write some code, and I'm going to walk you through it by showing you how you can use an editor. One of the biggest pitfalls I've seen many of my students make is that they listen too carefully to what I'm saying rather than actually trying to dive in and start coding themselves. So while I encourage you to sit back and watch, what I'm going to do right now in a little bit, I'm hoping you'll sit down and you'll code with me. One of the biggest pitfalls you're going to encounter is that you'll be saving your files all over the place. You're not able to find them later on. So decide how you will be organizing your files. What are you gonna name your folder? Where are you gonna put it? Second, you need to decide on a naming convention. This is just a fancy way of saying decide how you're gonna name your files. So although many people use a Mac and you're allowed to use spaces in your file, this is not something you want to do when you're writing code. So decide if you have two words you want to put together. You're going to use underscores to connect them or use something we call camel case, where you capitalize the first letter of each word. Just remember, never use spaces and very be very consistent about your capitalization if you are going to use it. Finally, you need to decide on an editor. If you're using a Windows machine, Notepad is already built in. You can also consider using Notepad++. If you're using a Mac, TextEdit is the default editor, although many people also use Text Wrangler. I'll be using Notepad throughout the rest of the study, but for today, I'm going to show you some examples of how to edit in Notepad. So in order to get started, let's quickly review the 5 steps that we're going to do. A few of them repeatedly. You're going to start by opening your editor and then you're going to save your file. And some content, you have to add some content. Save the file again and open it in your browser. I want to walk you through a quick example and I'm going to use Notepad. But don't worry, I'm going to go ahead and show you some of the other ways to do it as well. So I brought up other editor. I'm going to start off by going to File. So now let's start writing your code. So we would be using the Notepad in this example. So how are you going to open your Notepad again? You could just simply type in the search bar, you type Notepad, okay, and then look for the Notepad app and then open it. Or another way of opening the Notepad, you can click on your Windows logo and then go down, look for the Microsoft Windows accessories. You can also find there the notepad. Just click on it and then your notepad will be open. And you may start typing the code. And so first, you open the text editor and then you type your code. For example, this is your first page, your HTML code. Then you're going to save it. So how to save it? Oh, by the way, we're going to explain it line by line, word by word, as we go ahead to our lessons in the about the basic tags and the attributes. But for now, we will just focus on saving file and some reminders on how to save your file in your own gadgets. Okay, so to save the file and make it a web page using the notepad as your editor, so you're going to click the file and then save, and then make sure that you have a folder allotted for your all HTML files. Do not forget the last name, your folder name, and then again, as always, reminded that you need to type your last name at the first part of all your activities all throughout the course. So for example, we type your last name and then first page. Okay. Do not forget the .html extension. Otherwise, this will not become a page. Okay. So then after typing the required file name, click save. Now let's check your first web page. You open your folder, the folder where you save your first page, and then you could just simply double click it to open, or if you are looking for another browser to open it, you can choose open with and choose the desired browser you'd like. So this is now the output of your HTML code. Now let's go back to the source code. Let's edit some text in there. Let's add your last name, for example, and do not forget to save it. Control S on your keyboard or file save. Then let's check again your page. Double click to open it. As you can see, the changes you made in your text editor was not updated here. So all you need to do is refresh the page. Okay, just refresh the page and then you'll find now your last name here in the title. You can also do whatever editing you like. For example, you add your last name on the text. Again, save your work. Then what to do again to update your web page? Simply click the refresh page. Now let's take for example you've already closed your web page and your notepad as well, and you want to edit your HTML file. All you need to do is right click the page and then open with Notepad. And now you can edit your HTML file. Okay. Now you can also use Notepad++ to write your web pages. So if you have no Notepad++ on your device, it's an open source program. You can download it. Just search on your browser Notepad++ and then choose the pages you'd like to download it. Mine, I prefer to use the notepadplus.org, or simply click the download here. Then give some time to your browser and then you choose the latest Notepad++ and then make sure that you know the specifications of your device so it match the files that you're going to download. Then click on the download after checking the specifications and there's no compatibility issues. Simply click on the download and then wait for the downloaded files to be completed. And then you go to your download folders. Since I've downloaded it already, after downloading the file, you could just simply the usual thing you do when you download, and then you may now install it. Since I've already installed the program, this is as user friendly as possible. This is quite easier compared to the other programs that you have installed in your device, the one that we used in your Java and NetBeans. This is quite easier. So you simply double click the program and then follow the step-by-step instructions to install the notepad in your computer or whatever device you are using. And then make sure that after the installation, you have the shortcut icon on your desktop. So for example, this is now your Notepad++ environment or text editor, and you have typed your HTML file. Then you're going to save it. It's just the same steps with the what you do with the Notepad. So you saved it. If you have already saved it and you want to rename the file, you use the save as command. And then again, do not forget to type your last name. So let's add two in here. Do not forget the .html extension to convert the text file into a web page. And also do not forget to save your file on the folders, the exclusive folder you allotted for your all HTML files. Then you saved it. Okay, this is how it looks like when you type the HTML file using the Notepad++. Let's check again the folder. So this is now the file created using the Notepad and this one using the Notepad++. So again, to open it, simply double click it or right click the file and then choose open with and then choose your desired browser. So this is now your first page. So this is how we write our code, as simple as this, how we write the HTML code. On the next video lectures, we're going to explain the tags and attributes, the code that we're going to use in creating web page word by word, line by line. I cannot stress enough that most of the time when you type something at first, it's actually not going to work for you. I'm going to try to show you areas where you might have a problem. Hopefully, you won't, but if you do, they're all very simple to fix. One of the most common problems is that when you right click on the file, instead of opening up nicely in the browser, it opens up your editor instead. If you'd like to fix that, all you need to do is right click on the file and select Open With. Another issue that comes up quite frequently is this. The idea that you get what we'll call word characters. One of the number one reasons for this happening is my old favorite, copy and paste. Whenever I give you code and you're looking at it through PowerPoint, the problem is when you copy and paste it, a lot of the characters don't translate. It doesn't translate exactly the way you hope them to, and you get what we call word characters. The number one culprit is the quotes. So whenever you're typing and you have some sort of weird thing you're not expecting, go back in and try typing the code in by hand. And that ends our discussion for part 4. This is Mom Says saying, no matter the situation, never let your emotions overpower your intelligence. And so that's it. Watch out for more video tutorials. Stay safe and God bless everyone. Thank you for watching. This is Mom Says, signing off.